This video is brought to you by HockeyMonkey.com, your one-stop shop for the best prices on all the latest and greatest hockey gear. Be sure to use coupon code HR4U7 at checkout to receive 7% off any order. Hey guys, Josh from HockeyReviewsForYou.com bringing you my review of the Bauer Nexus 1000 hockey stick. I've been using this stick over the last couple of weeks and I have to say that I have been pleasantly surprised. So with that being said, let's get right into the review. One of the things that surprised me most about the Nexus is the overall balance and weight of the stick. It weighs in at an incredibly lightweight 410 grams, and the balance is absolutely perfect in my opinion. I guess if anything it is a little bit blade light, but when you use this stick and then move on to any other stick, you're really going to notice a difference in weight just because of how light and well balanced the Nexus 1000 actually is. In terms of the construction of the stick, of course it does feature Bauer's monocomp construction, so it is technically a true one piece, which does help the overall balance. And in terms of features that may make the stick a little bit lighter, of course it does feature the TechStream carbon fiber, which you're going to find on all the top end models from Bauer. Basically it's supposed to be 20% lighter than standard carbon fiber, but just as strong. So again, in terms of weight and overall balance, the Nexus 1000 is honestly the best stick that I've ever used in this particular category. The shaft of the Nexus 1000 is a little bit more traditional feeling. It's listed as having double concave sidewalls and square corners, but in all honesty, they feel very flat as far as the sides of the stick go, and the corners to me feel a little bit more round, but nonetheless, it's very easy to get a grip on, and overall it just feels nice and traditional. As far as the taper of the stick goes, it is a little bit thicker going all the way down, which does make for a more uniform feel across the entire shaft if you're one of those people that likes to have a really firm grip when taking face off. So you have a very consistent taper across the entire length of the shaft itself. In terms of grip, this is the grip tack version of the Nexus 1000, which feels pretty much the same as the Vapor Apex 2 stick with the grip tack coating. It's not too much grip, but it's just enough to where you have a nice kind of feel when you squeeze the stick. But of course it is available in a clear variation as well. So if you prefer to have your hand slide a little bit more easily, you're going to be able to get that feel with the Nexus 1000. But nonetheless, really like the shaft. The overall balance is great and it feels really good in hand. In terms of puck feel, I would describe the Nexus 1000 again as very responsive. The blade on this particular stick is the Power Core 3 foam core blade from Bauer. It is a reinforced foam core blade that is, according to Bauer, a favorite amongst their contracted professional players, which is why they chose to include it on the Nexus 1000 model. Basically, like I said, it is a reinforced foam core that offers a very solid, very responsive feel when shooting the puck. Lots and lots of pop off of the blade, but at the same time, it isn't overly stiff when receiving and stick handling the puck, which to me is something that I really like. It has that nice natural feel. It's rigid, but it's not pingy, if that makes any sense. I also really like this particular blade because it has a very consistent feel from heel to toe on both the forehand and backhand. So no matter which part of the blade you're using to handle the puck, it's going to have that exact same responsive yet slightly natural feel about it, which is something that I'm a big fan of. The blade itself is wrapped in Bauer's signature checkerboard TechStream carbon fiber material that is supposed to be 20% lighter than standard carbon fiber. Again, it is very light, so I can't really complain about the blade itself. The stick is incredibly well balanced and just feels super light when you have all of your equipment on. And in terms of the actual texturing on the blade, again, as with all top-end Bauer models at this point in time, it does have that slight micro texturing about it, which is something that doesn't really do too much in terms of puck feel, especially if you cover your entire blade with tape. But for the most part, it is kind of a nice little inclusion. It will kind of wear and tear it once it gets like little nicks and chips from skates and other sticks and stuff like that. But it is, like I said, a nice inclusion from Bauer. The taper of the blade, as you guys can see, is pretty consistent. It's a relatively thin blade all the way through. Nothing particular special about that. And like I said, in terms of puck feel, it's natural, it's rigid, but at the same time, it isn't overly pingy, which is something that I really like when it comes to puck feel on this particular stick. The Nexus 1000 is a really good all-around type of stick when it comes to shooting the puck. It's just as good for slap shots as it is for snap shots and wrist shots. It features Bauer's true mid flex profile, which means that the middle of the shaft is going to be about a medium stiffness, whereas closer to the top and closer to the bottom, you're going to have a slightly softer stiffness to the stick itself. Now for testing, I used a 77 flex, which is a slightly softer flex for a player my size, just because I'm not one to take a lot of slap shots, but I found that this particular stick felt good for, like I said, a very wide variety of shots, and overall it was just very, very easy to shoot with. You definitely can tell that it is a mid flex point type of stick. You're going to get a nice load when you are kind of taking a heavier type of shot, like a slap shot, like a one-timer, and it kicks very, very well. It's a very responsive stick, but with that being said, it isn't overly soft in terms of flex, and that's kind of how Bauer describes it, but I definitely didn't find it to be a particularly soft 777 flex. And keep in mind that this is an uncut Nexus 1000, so there's been really no modifications to the stick whatsoever. In terms of the blade itself, you are getting that Power Core 3 blade, which to me feels really, really good when shooting the puck. It offers a tremendous amount of pop and just very, very consistent in terms of the feel when shooting the puck. I also found that the slightly thicker taper really allowed the stick to feel nice and accurate. You never felt like the blade was opening up or the shaft was opening up, no matter what type of shot you were taking. And again, consistency was key with the Nexus 1000. Whether you're taking wrist shots, snap shots, slap shots, one-timers, this stick will do everything very, very well and very, very consistently. So if you're one of those players that seems to take a wide variety of different types of shots, the Nexus 1000 will definitely do you very well. In terms of durability, I had no issues whatsoever with the Nexus 1000. Like all top-end models from Bauer, this does include Bauer's Elastec technology, which is not only designed to increase the pop life of the stick, but it's also supposed to help against microfracture damage to the shaft itself. Basically, it's a certain type of resin that's used in the construction of the shaft, so should you take a puck to the stick or something like that where a microfracture might occur, that Elastec resin is supposed to more or less self-heal the stick, allowing it to preserve its overall lifespan for a little bit longer and feel newer for longer, I should say. Other than that though, I really had no issues whatsoever, other than the just normal wear and tear that you would expect from a composite hockey stick, but for the most part this has held up extremely well. One thing that I can say is that the graphics are fairly minimal. It's mostly a clear coat across the entire stick. To me it looks really, really good, and because of this mostly black type of graphic, it's really not going to show too much wear either. So if you want your stick to look a little bit newer, longer, the Nexus 1000 design is definitely going to provide that for you. But other than that, this is definitely a stick that I can see lasting for a relatively long time, at least past its 30-day warranty period. So again, if durability is a concern, I see no reason why you shouldn't take a look at the Nexus 1000. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Bauer Nexus 1000. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect going into this particular review. It's a somewhat unexciting stick when you look at the overall design and tech specs, but honestly, after using it, I really came to enjoy the Nexus 1000. It's a very consistent, very simple stick to use. The flex point is something that I'm personally a really big fan of. I like the feel of the blade. It's very, very responsive and has a nice kind of old school composite feel, if that makes any sense. So for the most part, if you're looking for something that is very consistent and extremely easy to use, not to mention extremely effective in terms of the amount of performance you're going to get out of it, and also an extremely lightweight stick, the Nexus 1000 is definitely one to consider. Now if you guys are interested in purchasing one of these for yourself, be sure to check out the link down below in the description of this video, and also be sure to use the HR4U coupon code to get yourself some additional discounts if you are interested in ordering one of these for yourself. Again, that link can be found down below in the description. If you have any questions or suggestions regarding the Nexus 1000, be sure to leave a comment down below, and also let me know if there are any other products you guys would like to see reviewed and showcased on my channel. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for more video reviews on all the latest and greatest hockey gear. Other than that though guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.